I'm David Boeri of Radio Boston. Today our show is on apples. And what good would a show on apples be if you didn't have product to show? What we're going to be doing today, among other things, talking about the anthropology of apples, of farmers and orchards around New England, is going to be sampling some very special products. Do you believe that there are 17,000 varieties of apples? Most of us know only a handful, the ones that are commercially popular. They dominate the world market. So on Radio Boston today, we're going to be taking a look at some of the old ones, some of the old beauties. This is a Gravenstein. It is a particularly good-looking apple, but more important than what the apple tastes like is what it does for taste. But more important than what the apple looks like is what it does for taste. This was a fabulous, important early New England apple. Believe it or not, with a name like Gravenstein, it comes from Italy. Another one, another rare Lamb Abbey Main. These are the antiques. Now, this happens to be a pretty-looking apple as well as a fabulous one. But, the reality of many of these New England apples is that they were plain Janes. This is a porter. This is an apple that came from Massachusetts. You put this in a beauty contest with a Miss Washington, the Red Delicious, and plain Jane's going to fail. But inside the Red Delicious Miss Washington, there's nothing there. And that's the key to many of these heirloom apples. This, of all of them, is probably the most, certainly it's the rarest, and it's the most important to talk about today. The Harrison apple. This tree was thought to be extinct. They found the Harrison. The Harrison was invented, if you call an apple invented, but it was first cultivated in the town of Sherburne, Massachusetts. It's a fabulous cider apple. Don't let the looks fool you. In addition to this, we're taking a look at various wines from the Neshoba Valley Winery. Indication of what and how the apple market is changing and what you can do with apples. It's been a very successful business, the winery there. Sizer, honey apple wines. Sizer is important. It's an old New England colonial drink. When sugar was very, very expensive, honey was available, and honey was often used with cider. So this is a honey apple wine that sort of replicates that flavor. Here we have a Baldwin dry apple wine. Baldwins are close to my heart because Baldwins come from the town of Wilmington, where I grew up. This is an apple that went out of commercial production largely at the beginning of the 1900s. It makes a fabulous wine. We're going to be sampling that. And then we come to New English cider. What most people don't understand is that far before beer, the colonies, the Commonwealth, lived on hard cider. And we'll be sampling this as well. Closest to my heart, though. Closest to my heart is sweet cider. Sweet cider is the beginning of hard cider. Many of us drink it just as it is. And this sweet cider comes from Boeri orchards. I have a small orchard in Petersham. This is my very own. It's the first pressing of the year. And as I say, it's close to my heart. So here's to the apple. Here's to Radio Boston. Tune in this afternoon and Saturday.